Right, I don't know how I'm going to feed you all, get all and film at the same time. Squeak squeak, right, watch out the way. I'm back. Today I've just received what I'm filming with right now, the Sony a7 IV. I just parted ways with the a7R III, and it was definite time for me to upgrade to this beast. I sort of disappeared off the face of the earth with content, photos or anything the last 2 years on because of COVID, and today I'll show you a bit of where I've been for a lot of that time. Here we are. Welcome to Ponte, Moyna. This is my sister and brother-in-law's house. It's built in the 1700s for the mining agent who run and took care of the miners and the mines around here in North Wales, like Maes Havens, Llanferris. For the last year, I've been managing their land for them. So some of the grass cutting, the hedge maintenance. Got 7 acres of land here, and then the sheep as well, which I've taken a really huge, keen interest in. And just across the road, there's a local Texel pedigree farmer. So I've been learning lots and lots of invaluable stuff and information from him. And unfortunately, over the winter time, I've learned a lot from the vets as well, with one of the sheep being really poorly, which I'll show you in a bit. She is still alive and well. Go and get some food for them. Now, spring's in full flow, so I shouldn't really be feeding them pellets, never mind a lot. There is 5 currently in the river orchard at the moment, but as it is North Wales and it's still only just spring, we are getting some quite cold nights and sometimes frost as well. So I've literally just been hiding here most of the time. Mama! Huh. Ah, I see the back of old lady and I see princess. There's Thin White, she'll be the first to run over. Hello girl! Hi! How you doing? Say hello. Hi! So that's Thin White, that's old lady. I call that one Blue Tag. That one's Princess. And that one's Fat White. Fat White and Thin White, obviously their markings on the face. She has a fat white stripe, she has a thin white stripe. Those two are around about 3 years old and are sisters. The 2 Texels, the Garys across the way. Might be able to hear him streaming in the distance. And an old lady is about 12, 13 years old, and she's been here, well, since a lamb. Yeah, sorry, I messed it up. It's the hardest thing ever, trying to feed them with the camera in hand. So this is the river orchard. The sheep have just been moved in here about a week ago. So the main field has been sprayed and ready for growing, so it'll turn into basically a giant wild meadow. And then be cut for hay later on in the year, which after last year, There we are. Hello is now one of my favourite times. It's so much fun. Are they on there? Good girls. Who are we missing? Where's Blue Tag? Get out of the trough. So this time last year, they pretty much only spent 2 weeks in the river orchard because it was so dry, as most of you in the UK remember. The grass was just dead and it wasn't growing, so we had to move them across to the other sheep farmer's field, and they stayed there until they were sheared, and then they came back in here. Hey! If you can hear the bell, that's on Fat White at the moment. Her and Thin White have handmade Swiss Alp bells for their cattle and sheep up there. Thin White's is off because she spent 3 months really poorly inside the stables and with old lady because they can't be kept alone. And so I've left hers off because I didn't think, well, she wasn't supposed to be surviving and she'd ever come back, but now she's one of the healthiest out of them all. So her bell, well, yeah, your bell will go back on once they've been sheared next month. And next month, once they're sheared, I'm going to be starting a new little venture with cruelty-free, or some people call them vegan, sheepskin rugs, where when these are sheared I'll be felting them by hand, because these are forever flock. And Texel's a breeding sheep for Gary because that's what he does. You can see with his robbles how thick. Sorry Fat White, let me just get in there. It's about the length of my fingers. Really thick fleeces. Hello girl. So looking forward to getting them. Hey! If anyone's still watching now and hasn't switched off because they're not interested in sheep or in agriculture, that's fair enough. Anyone still watching? Hi! Enjoy! Blue Tag eating it all. Fat White's a bit depressed at the moment and she's going all slow. So for anyone who hasn't spent time with sheep or just used to eating them, they all have their individual personalities just like dogs and cats and any other animal. I sort of slightly knew they would, but to the extent of that I'd never really realised until I started looking after these. All completely different weather, different moods, just like any other emotional thing really. I'll just go and put the bucket back in the stables, get a quick sip of coffee. I need to go to the top of the field up there. It says here yesterday, chopping some of the fence line down, not out of spite for the poor trees. The fencing up there is very old. There's a small copper section of wood up in the corner, if you can see it, quite faint up there. It's been blocked off for around about 10 years, and from the previous owners never bothered to get the fencing sorted. So my sister and her husband are getting it done, but for the tractor to be able to get up there and, you know, reverse for his post maker, some of the trees and things needs to be cut back so we can actually get in there. I'm holding the camera literally just with my hand around the body. It's very heavy. I'm using the Sony 16-35 lens and it's completely on auto at the moment. I've also got the Sony 70-200 that arrived in the post yesterday, and then the body, the A7 IV, arrived today. So I've done the new firmware update. going through some of the menu systems to best that I can. It's quite a lot complicated than the A7 III and the R3, but in a lot better way. And if you're sitting on the fence or thinking of getting this camera, I highly recommend doing so. So once I have a little walk around now, I'm going to put on the 70-200 f2.8. I'm going to go down into Cascade Wood, which is attached to the river garden, and I'm going to see what I can capture with that lens and the tripod in there. Let's have a look. Here you go. So as this day's progressed, I've looked back and gone through some of the footage, and I was looking going, why is it so close to me? Well, what's going on? I had it on 16mm. I realised, new to the camera system, I'd left it in 4K, and on this 4K is crop. So yeah, I'm holding the camera exactly the same distance as I was throughout the other footage of filming myself. My bad. Both my memory cards are flashing 0 minutes. I've tried to do my best with some of the footage. It's all been handheld. I'll do my best to keep doing video. The more I put out, the more I get used to it, and the better stories I can make or create. Or if anyone just in general is interested in day-to-day smallholder life, yeah, let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.